if you don't know, back in 2025, I was involved in a drama, and this escalated so far that Asmongold talked about me, called me a hateful, vindictive person doing cancellation campaigns and so on, and also spread a bunch of like transphobia, looking at my tweets mentioning how I am apparently a groomer because I want trans kids to live. I, was a trans kid. I didn't transition. I didn't have access to this healthcare that would have helped me overcome a lot of the challenges that I face today. But he just portrayed me as a groomer, as a and whatnot, and there was like a huge thing. I made videos about it and so on, debunking everything. And now he is essentially trying to do the same thing, similar thing of like attacking a small streamer, small content creator who happens to be also trans, Whooith. There were like some things, some tweets that were not nice. Whooith was mean. And Asmongold has talked numerous times about it. And recently he did this one segment where he said this.
It's just a stupid comment made by an idiot on the internet. Like, whenever I say that I don't care what people's opinions are, it's because I don't care about the people. Like, why would I, like, for example, like if a dog is barking at me, I don't ask myself and think, oh my God, I'm so sad this dog was mean. I don't even think about it. It's an animal to me. I don't even, like, it might sound bad. I don't even see these people as people. I don't treat them like people. I don't see them as people. All I do is I just see what they say and I respond to it. So it doesn't bother me at all.
Obviously dehumanize language. He has numerous said that like the trans community attaches itself to the LGBT community like a parasite when he talked about me, and now talking about Whooith being like, I don't view these people as people, and comparing her to a dog that's barking. Whooith tweeted, I'm legit just a woman who is incredibly blunt to a fault. The fact he keeps bringing me up shows how much people like me bother him. He doesn't see me as a person, which is dehumanization. He also proceeded to pull a clip of mine on stream and mocked my appearance. He tends to do that to women. Anyways, let's look at this clip here.
I think this is the reason why people like Nyara and that other person, I forgot their name, I think Whooith, yeah, that's the name. Both of them, the reason why I think that they're so toxic and bad for the trans movement is that they constantly use their own antisocial, vitriolic aggression against other people, and then they use their trans identity as a shield whenever they get criticism for it or they get pushback. So what happens basically is that they attack you, and then you attack them back, but then they say you're attacking the trans community, which I think what it does is it basically gives the accountability to all of the trans people whenever you're saying that. And now it's like, oh, well, all of you guys should be on my side. Well, no, they shouldn't be on your side or not against you. You're an individual making your own actions.
So what happens is somebody like Asmongold says something along the lines of, there are no trans kids. Then little old me comes along and is wrong. I was a trans kid. Then Asmongold comes along and is Nyara talks about children so much. Wow, isn't that crazy? Like now I'm a target of this community, of this huge community, and I call this out. And he will justify it as like, oh, Nyara said her opinion, I am saying just my opinion and reacting to that. Completely eliminating like the entire power dynamic that like exists, because I'm a small creator and getting a bunch of hate, but I don't have a lot of support to combat this. And then Asmongold constantly says things like, oh, you are a parasite, you're doing AoE to like the trans movement, and he calls us mentally ill, says we are flat earthers. So I'm just engaging with like his point and then call this out. And when somebody is like doing a personal attack at some point, that still doesn't justify him going after people with like such a small community, right? Like if you have somebody with 1 million followers on Twitter interacting with somebody who has like 1,000 just because they said their opinion doesn't mean you should just like engage with it and just berate them and send your audience to harass them and attack them and so on, right? It just doesn't work that way. You gotta be more responsible with your platform. But like Asmongold gets joy from this power dynamic. He wants to feel big. He wants to feel strong. He wants to, when he talked about me, he wants to make me cry. I stepped into the arena and there's no coming back, right? That is what he does. That's what he always does. Okay, Whooith made like a quick little video. Let me play this.
TLDR is Asmongold says something very, very misogynistic, and
New analysis reveals female-dominated corporate roles are more vulnerable to AI automation than male roles. Asmongold responded with too many fake jobs were invented to create artificial parity between men and women in the workforce. AI fixes this problem. Hopefully, after this is over, women can go back to doing what they do best, being a mother or being a prostitute. And now you're engaged with that. Now you're like, this is fucking stupid. Asmongold is a misogynistic freak. And then it's like, oh my god, I'm being attacked.
pretty much like express my opinion about something that he's done in the past, which was I feel that he didn't take good care of his mother. And as someone who has a disabled mother, I thought it was like disgusting that he was like supporting her addictions and stuff.
Hopefully, once you're no longer relevant, you can go back to doing what you do best, being alone in your disgusting home where you got your mother killed due to neglect.
Here's how I'll go back. I'll think about it. I guarantee you, if you were to get a Ouija board, my mom were to come back today, and she would say, you know, did I make a bad decision giving her cigarettes? She'd say, fuck no, I wanted them. She was sitting there until the day she fucking died, sitting there drinking Pepsi, handfuls. I'm talking about handfuls of chocolate, chugging fucking soda, asking me if we're gonna get Taco Bell, smoking weed, dual-wielding it with cigarettes while she's on oxygen, watching Ancient Aliens, getting involved with Alex Jones, dismantling the New World Order. I don't regret a fucking thing. She died doing what she loved. I don't regret it at all. Because people have autonomy, and they can choose how they live. They're not animals.
Unless we are standing up to them, then we are essentially just animals, right?
Honestly, I just said that and I moved on. I did not expect him to respond to me and all his fucking bots to attack me. But yeah, I used to be a very big Asmongold fan back in 2019, 2020. I remember me and my wife used to be excited to watch his stream whenever he was doing his trans monk stuff or leveling his classic WoW and stuff. So it's really annoying to me seeing that person that we used to love turn into what he is now.
I've spent a lot of my time making things worse for these people and making the internet a more unpleasant and, by extension, the world a more unpleasant and unwelcoming place for them. I intend to make it a lot worse. I do. I will not let you guys down. This is only the beginning.
Why is he talking like some fucking Naruto character? Like, it's so weird.
I remember when Dawn Trail came out for Final Fantasy, and it was right at the start, and my friend was trying to tell me how Asmongold actually wasn't a good person at all, and I was like, no, he's okay. He's supported trans people in the past. He's defended trans people in the past, and then just in the last year or two, he's just changed so much.
He's miserable. He's so fucking, like, he doesn't care about anything anymore. He doesn't have anything to live for. He just, like, sits there and is just, like, resentful. He's so disconnected from, like, reality, from society, right? Like, Twitch banned him for, like, 3 days. He went outside, actually got his teeth fixed. Twitch could literally fix this dude by just banning him for like a couple of months. He's going to come back like a completely new person. Bro is going to come out as like the biggest trans ally. He just needs to like disconnect from the online world and connect with the actual real world for a bit. Bro has all the money in the world. He can do whatever and get like, I don't know, millions of views. He can just like sit there and scroll through the Twitter timeline, talk about things in front of 50,000 people. It's just like things don't matter anymore, right? He tried to play like Dark Souls one time, got bullied for being so bad, and now he's just like sitting on Reddit, on his subreddit, scrolling through what to talk next, who to harass next. Like, he has nothing else. He peaked. It's just somebody who already struggles, obviously, with their mental health, right? Like, somebody who neglects themselves and just got successful through playing World of Warcraft all of the time, not taking care, like he doesn't even brush his teeth. He doesn't give a shit about himself. Obviously, he doesn't give a shit about like what his actions mean for people like us, right? For actual human beings who are forced to live in this society and face the constant transphobia, harassment, misogyny, racism, and so on, like every single day that he is normalizing and pushing for. All of the people who are being radicalized because they are watching this guy's content, who aspire to be as miserable and lonely as he is. If he's going to look back at his life, what does he even have? What is like his accomplishment? Wow, he's like one of the biggest Twitch streamers. Amazing, cool, but like what is he doing with that platform? He's just being horrible. He knows that at some point this weird trend, this fascist movement is going to die out. People go back into hiding again. He knows that he only has like these couple of years when he can be maximum hostile without any consequences. But at some point, things are going to change again, and Woke 2 is going to be back.
We're never going to let you forget this. You're never going to be able to live this down. And the reason why is because I don't like you. That's the reason why.
That's him talking about me. That is from like 2025 August, right?
I don't like you. I could make it a moral reason or whatever, and there's a degree of that exists, but the real reason is because I don't like you. I don't like what you represent. I don't like how you act. I don't like your personality. And I'm going to try to do as much as I can to remind everybody for as long as I can about how much of an unpleasant, problematic person you are, because you did the exact same thing to other people.
I didn't.
This would have never happened to you if you didn't decide to open your fucking mouth and start talking shit. But think about it next time before you want to step into the arena.
Look at his face, like a self-righteous attitude. Like, goddamn. It's so silly. It's like, this dude said that he doesn't care about me, that like, I don't matter, and so on for almost an entire year at this point. And then he says that it doesn't bother him. Like, obviously it bothers him, and he's scared that people like me are actually, getting the public support again. So he tells his echo chamber that no, this is like a 70-30 issue, and like nobody actually supports you, and people hate you and so on. And then I go to TwitchCon and talk to other partner streamers, and they're like, yeah, fuck Asmongold. Like, bro is, just out here causing so much harm in this space, doing so much radicalization, being such a problematic person, and nobody does anything about it because, this entire space is just like so infected with people that believe that it's okay to just like harass LGBTQ people, to harass women and people of color and so on. Like, it is so fucking toxic and hostile because people like this are currently like in the position of power. And he's terrified that this is going to change because he had to hide his views all of this time. This was like the first time he actually he looked at like my argument or something. And it's just like, it's so funny to me to like listen to these things.
Can't consent to
I'm going full mask off, by the way.
HRT, then they can't consent to puberty.
If they can't consent to it's crazy to me, like how people still don't understand the take. Puberty induced through HRT is mechanically the same as puberty induced through your natural produced hormones. So if you're saying that, oh, because 16-year-olds do not know their gender identity, they don't know if they're a boy or a girl, they don't know the right path.
You don't go through puberty at 16.
Like, what the fuck do you mean? You go through puberty from anywhere from the age of 9 to age of 17? Yeah. You give them puberty blockers in order to give them time and so on. But a lot of these people are like, no, you have to go through your quote-unquote natural puberty before you go on HRT, right? You have to wait.
Oh my god, this person's gonna get gay marriage banned. This radicalizes people so much against LGBT stuff. This is the reason why support for gay marriage is going down. Because you have these mentally ill freaks that are on Twitter saying stuff like this. And again, I think that's the main reason. It is.
The guy who doesn't see us as human beings and calls us animals and so on believes that I am radicalizing people with my very, very small platform. Obviously, I will sit there and call these things out. I will make people understand this. And then he looks at like how often I mention the word like trans kids on Twitter, because people constantly lie and I constantly call this out and so on. And then he just like portrays this as like, oh, this is grooming, this is mentally ill, oh, you're doing damage to like the LGBTQ community, oh, you're harming the trans movement, people are being radicalized, this is making people more angry at you and so on, right? Like he constantly does this, but like I'm apparently not supposed to like defend myself again. And then he's like, oh, you attacked me, and that is why I said all these things. This is why. And he's just like trying to portray this and like farm this. So just so you know that this is like a common thing. This is not just like a one-off thing that he's now doing to Whooith, right? He did the same shit to me. He says horrible things. People defend themselves, call these things out, and then he's playing the victim.
Again, you know, you say you're getting harassed, you think it's bad. It's going to get a lot worse. It's going to get a lot worse, and you're going to deserve it. I hate people like this. They're disgusting. And if somebody doesn't do something about it, and the problem also is that
if something doesn't do something about it, is that a call for violence? But just so you know, right? Like he's blatantly, openly sitting there. This is not diplomatic. He is not trying to be like, oh yeah, you know, I can see both sides and so on. And he just said something mean. I am saying something mean back. Even if you ignore the power dynamic, right? If it's just like one person says something, person two matches their energy, right? Like even when it comes to this, he is on an entirely different level.
A lot of other content creators, here's the truth. A tremendous majority of people agree with me, including a lot of content creators. I understand that a lot of you guys that make content out there are afraid of speaking out against this because you don't want to get labeled all these bad names. I want to let you know that eventually they'll come for you too. These are mentally ill, unhinged, crazy people. And if you're not going to do that, I think that it's important that we keep track of all the people who try to play footsie with this type of language and this type of community and try to like passively, promote it. And once things are completely in the other direction, it'll be time to remind them about that.
He's so self-righteous. He thinks that this is like so justified, and you know what he's doing, right? Like he's pushing this mob mentality, this herd mentality, being like, oh, they are just attacking me because like I'm saying the truth and you agree with me, so they are going to attack you as well. They want to come for you. You gotta punch them first because otherwise they will punch you. That is what he's doing. We gotta tear them down while they are small, tiny creators. Make them so toxic to be around. Make everything so hostile for them so they cannot flourish, that they cannot thrive, because otherwise they will suppress you. That is what he has been doing for a really long time. He's trying to like build this permission structure where you cannot disagree with him in public. You cannot say anything about him, because otherwise he's going to send his vile fan base after them, telling them that, oh my god, they want to cancel you next.
If you're for the good version of something, you need to be against the bad version. Exactly, I know. And all I want for them to leave kids alone and leave the shit out of our video games. Yes, exactly. Just stop involving kids. This is you are inside of a losing proposition, and everything that you're going to advocate for is going to be completely rescinded. And eventually, people like you that did this kind of stuff will be put on trial, I think, in some cases, for the ones that actually tried to communicate and interact with minors and tried to discuss gender ideology and talk to them about that. This is something that adults should not be doing to children on the internet. And eventually there will be a candidate that will find these people and hold them accountable. And when that candidate comes up, and it will happen, I will vote for them, and I will encourage everybody else to do the same thing. This is weird, it's wrong, it's disgusting, it's just it's opportunistic, it's manipulative, there's a massive power imbalance, it's just crazy.
So if you educate people on trans topics, if you say that like, oh, these are resources, you know, like if you have gender dysphoria or anything, he wants the FBI or whatnot, like politicians, to go after those that talked about LGBTQ topics with minors, with, you know, trans youth or something, right? If you're a teacher, they want you to be punished for talking about something that is not cis straight.
The days of going out, advocating for violence, trying to gender confuse children, trying to push lies onto the world, your days are numbered. And eventually, people will actually come in that will weaponize the FBI to go after online threats, to go after people that are trying to communicate with minors and discuss gender transitions with them. And that's going to happen. It's going to happen. I guarantee it. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do everything that I can to make it happen faster. That's it. And it doesn't matter what happens to me because, again, everybody else wants this to happen too. They do. They're tired of this. It is obnoxious. It is crazy. Saying that I'm talking about killing trans people. Do you really think that I was talking about killing trans people? Asmongold is essentially saying we're going to kill trans people. Oh, that's great. Yeah, what a great example. Listen, cry about it, get upset about it, anything you want, but nothing's going to change.
It is so wild to me that this is just like allowed, right? He is calling for political violence and people to, you know, take matters into their own hands, to go after trans people, to harass people like me and so on. He is signaling to his entire audience full of brainwashed freaks that everybody in the real world is actually on their side, which is not true. And now we need to be thankful that like he is nice to us.
And again, like, if I ever do get banned on Twitch or something like that happens, I'm just going to be twice as aggressive. I'm going to be twice as aggressive, twice as argumentative, and I'm going to go even harder on these people. Like, I'm actually being very diplomatic about this right now because I don't want to get banned. I don't want to get suspended. Well, I don't want to get suspended. And so I try to be reasonable. I try to be nice. I always follow the rules, etc. But if I ever get banned, I'm going to do it even more.
Anyways, that is Asmongold coming after a close friend of mine. Yeah, nobody's using being trans as a shield. That is a point. That is a attack point. That is a justification point, right? Like, he did the same thing that he did to me back then when he scrolled through like all of those tweets with me mentioning like trans kids and so on. He did the same thing to Whooith as well, right? Like, it's always a thing in order to manipulate their like his audience and give people the perception that we are a danger for children, right? Like, you tell people who think that like trans people are mentally ill, they are doing school shootings, they're coming after children, they're predatory, they're evil and so on, and now you point the finger at like random trans women on the internet of being like, oh my god, they are also talking about children a lot, right? It doesn't matter that what we are saying is factually correct and it's objective reality that trans kids do exist, and there needs to be a support system out there. We shouldn't get bullied for existing. We should be allowed to be ourselves without, you know, having society make our lives more miserable. But that is not using a shield for like criticism or anything. That is you making a baseless claim about something that you have no interest in learning about. You spread propaganda, misinformation, and people call that out. And we are going to bring that up every single time because it matters a lot that you control so much through public perception and portraying us as predatory and a danger, and somebody needs to do something about it because it gives Asmon's community the justification to go out there and harass us, to dogpile on us, and so on. That's just like how it works. That is why you need to call it out. That's why you need to point it out. Who sent me another clip, Wayne?
Like, Asmon is one of the biggest Twitch streamers whose community is vile as fuck. We'll just say this about a trans woman with 10 CCV and nobody cares. I don't even see these people as people, and compares her to a dog. Yes, that's correct. A person that repeatedly brings up my dead mother, tries to weaponize her, makes up fan fiction about how she died, and then tries to attack.
What do you mean fan fiction? You literally sat there and admitted to it, and you said you're going to do it again. The fuck do you mean? What do you mean?
Me and get me deplatformed. Yes, that's exactly what I said. And I'm not sorry.
Yeah, maybe misogynistic, but you were mean. And that's worse. Actually doing the meme. Like, goddamn. Like, fuck this dude. He's such a loser. But, you know. He has nothing else. That's just the thing, right? Like, he's bored, he's tired, he wants to fight because then there's drama, and he can't always go against Hassan because Hassan doesn't always care, right? Hassan has a big community, Hassan is not affected by it. He wants people to actually be here and cry and complain and whine about it, right? That's what he wants, that's what he craves. He has nothing else. I'm so sorry that your life is not worth living, but that doesn't give you the right to make the lives of others so difficult. Anyways, Go follow Whooith. Go check out Whooith.